Sophia, and I am back, and it's close to Halloween, and I am just really into the fantasy makeup looks. I've been doing theater makeup since I was about probably 12. I'm a little rusty, but I'm so excited. I did this whole Ulta haul today. I got glitter, and today I'm going to do kind of a sugar skull, creepy, glittery look for you guys. So we'll see how it goes. I'm really excited to be filming again. I've been really busy with work, and I was swatching these glitters earlier. Aren't they beautiful? I think I'm going to use this one in the look today. But anyway, let's get started.
So I'm just going to start priming my face with this Hangover RX primer from Too Faced. It's going to make sure none of the gross stuff gets into my skin. The glue stick? What? Just kidding. I'm using this to smooth down my brows because we are actually going to white them out for this look. My skull has no brows. Next, I am just going to put on my foundation like normal and just kind of buff it into my skin. I was going to skip this step, but then I realized I just wanted a neutral canvas to start painting on. So now I'm going in with my white face paint. You can actually just use your fingers. That's what I ended up doing to get a bit more pigment out of this. The heat helps it melt into the skin. And I'm just highlighting where I normally would, under the eyes, on the chin, the nose, the forehead, and then using a smaller brush, I'm highlighting my cupid's bow and my snot lines, and then just going in and really blending it out to white out my skin a bit. So next, I'm going to contour like I normally do. I'm mixing together brown and red so it doesn't look too outlandish, but to definitely give my face some more dimension. When you're working with a lot of white paint, the dimension becomes important in making certain features pop. So I just wanted to make sure that my face didn't fall flat. No difference than your normal contour routine. Just use the paints here. It's pretty easy. And then just blend it. So a trick that I learned with just normal contouring is to take it under the lower lip and to do those 3 lines on my upper lip to make my lip come forward and look bigger. And you'll see throughout most of this look, most of it is just going back and adding dimension where you want it, blurring out things you don't, and kind of just being able to take that artistic license. The colors do blend out a lot, so just kind of going back in with that pigment. And now, so I don't look too dead, I am taking this highlighter by NYX. I picked it up at Ulta. I'm in love. It looks very natural, but it's very buildable. And that's just going to add some luminosity to kind of chromify your skin and make you look a little more awake. I'm also putting it on my lips to kind of prep them. So here what I'm doing is I'm whiting out my brows and adding more dimension using this orange shade around my eyes and my mouth. When we start doing the white in a second, there it is. It's going to help shine through and create more dimension. Here with the nose, think about an upside down triangle shape and take it up the slim part of your nose. I'm doing a line and some dots and just generally mapping out my forehead. And when you do your eyes, just take a brush and go into where your socket is and wing it out and connect everything. It's going to look kind of goofy at first, but you'll see we're going to make it all work for us. So now I'm kind of just starting to build on the look. I was going off of a picture I saw on Instagram, but I started realizing that the proportions on my face were not necessarily right. Oh, hi Mom, she's in the background. So I just kind of started winging it. I knew I wanted it to be really detailed, so when you're carving out your face in the white lines, just kind of take into account that you're going to fill in all the space. And if you mess up, the white paint's very forgiving, so you can just wipe it off. And the thing I like about it is that you can really blend it out. So everything you're seeing me do, if for some reason you hate how it looks, you can literally wipe it off and just start over again. The dots themselves, Some of them I thought looked a little big going in, so I just wanted to make sure as I continued on with the look that I was being just more and more detail oriented and making sure. So with the mouth, what I'm doing is the smile lines. And the only real tip I have here is when you have your brush and you're dipping into your white paint, make sure you put more pressure when you first lay the brush down and then let off of pressure with a light hand to kind of create those spikes you see on the mouth. And just kind of go in and just make sure each side looks normal and symmetrical on each side, and then just go back in and add your dots. Slowly but surely it definitely comes together. So I'm actually going to start speeding the tutorial up now, but just know I'm just going over all these dots I did to make sure they're pigmented, and anything I don't like I'm kind of just blending and reshaping as I go. So at this point, looking at the look, I saw that my lips were looking one-dimensional, so I just went in with some black paint to add more dimension. Just kind of where the white wasn't. And then here I'm just going back with my white paint and making sure everything's looking crisp, really going in and making sure the details are where I want them. And also adding in this cheek detail. I didn't like how bare my cheeks looked, so I just kind of improvised and did sort of this flowery, sort of tenderly weird thing just to fill up some space. If you don't like the shape though, you can always change it. And then here I am kind of just carving out my cheekbones a little bit, adding more detail. I wanted, when I looked forward, for my face to look thinner, so cutting it off at the cheekbones right here will make it look just a lot more skinny. Oh, what am I doing now? Oh, you guys, this is where I started putting glitter on. So, what's a girl without glitter? I'm not really sure, but I was using the NYX glitter primer and this crystal, I believe it's called Crystal Cosmetic Glitter, and just putting it on my eye. You can kind of see it here, just really packing it on. And I believe my camera died at this point, so I went in and just did some chin work here. I was going a little more fine, a little more triangular, just to make my face look a little more triangle-y. Also going in and adding some dots around my jawline. Basically just the way I'm doing this is any bare space I'm either dotting or I am adding some sort of lines. And then what I'm doing now is I'm kind of going in where there's not a lot of white and just sort of blending it in just to create that contrast in my face so everything really pops. So same concept here with the nose. I'm just mixing the hot pink and orangey shades together and going in kind of like in the crease under my brow to create that more dimension and on the lines on my nose. For lips, I'm just adding more glitter. Haha, funny Sofia snorting the glitter. I wanted the emphasis to be on the lips. A lot of skulls don't have them and I really don't find it sexy. And I'm just finishing off here with a little mascara just to make our skull feminine and pretty and make sure she does have some lashes at least. So I wanted to add more detail and really tie the lashes in because I felt like they kind of stood out. So just putting some hot pink paint on the end of my lashes and then just going in and really cutting that crease to make her look defined and really make her eyes pop. Don't mind my singing. So once again, just going back, blending it with my finger so it looks sort of gradient-y and not super striking contrast. And then just once again going in with that paint and any little areas I have, like the little triangles on my forehead, just filling it in. I decided that big white thing on my forehead needed a little bit of pink. And then just going in with the glitter and just kind of packing it on just so when the light hits my face, there's a little pretty shimmer to it to make it look sugary and pretty. Oh, okay, so now we're going to start on the neck. I have to be completely honest. I winged this 100%. Like, I had no idea what I was going to do on my neck and my chest, but I did know I wanted it to be as intricate as the face and to connect. So if you notice kind of where the lines of the chin are, I just took that straight down, and then I did one right in the middle where my throat is. And the reason I did the lines is because I naturally have lines on my neck that I hate, that I wanted to cover up. And as above, so below. So anything you are doing the same color, basically just use the same colors on your chest. For my chest, will be going in with a lot of white and then filling it in with pink just to have that contrast and the same color coordination to make her look fluid and not like, we're just slapping this on as an afterthought. Anyway, now you know what I listen to. So for this part, I really wanted it to feel like a heart that was living in a house. I'm not sure if that comes across, but I kind of wanted that weird oval thing by my neck to kind of look like the roof, and I wanted it to look like the heart was living in that little enclosement that we will make in a second. So this is where I started to conceptualize the heart kind of being embedded to the rest of the house. Oh, thanks, Mom. She was like, hey, need some help? And I was like, yes, please. So I wanted to kind of make it look like veins. So for this, just kind of using a heavy hand and then kind of laying off the brush. As I'm looking at this, I feel like, doesn't Frida Kahlo have a painting like this? I don't know, but this is where it starts to come together. I just kind of wanted it to look like she was just exposing her heart, very like vulnerable, and also that it was kind of like a little hard to look at. Not grotesque, but kind of like, oh no, your heart's out. So yeah, and the paint itself, once it starts drying, sort of dissipates a bit, so don't be afraid to go back over it. And here I'm just kind of following the natural curves of my clavicle and chest. I knew I really wanted some shoulder detail, because if not, my shoulders are naturally really round, so just kind of chiseling them out a little bit, and then just sort of going in just with the dots that we were using on our face and some of the angles, and just filling in anything that doesn't look right or that only looks half finished. As I was doing this, it did also cross my mind that people may get offended because of cultural appropriation. So in case anybody does say anything, I just want you guys to know that I identify as fully Mexican. I know I have light skin, I know I'm güera, but I was raised extremely Latina, so this is my culture, and I do not feel that I'm culturally appropriating anything. And just as a side note, when you're choosing your Halloween costumes this year, everybody be sensitive, please. That being said, this is my sugar skull makeup look. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making this for you. I had an absolute blast, and I am just thrilled with how it came out. It makes me want to try more looks in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody eat extra candy and have an extra cocktail for me this Halloween. Bye guys, thank you. You and I, we got history, yeah.